Great summer too.
We're going with Italian, so that's good to know. So, Chris, tell me about the first time that you guys met.
First time the guys met. Was it the first day of shooting?
Yeah, first day of shooting. You were out, you were literally out inside the door and said, "Here's Chris, this is Mike, go." Amazing. And you're like, what the hell is crazy. And the dining was going around. It was really that crazy. Shooting some stuff. Said, like, weird stuff happened. Like, they wanted me to wear Converse, right? They said, "What shoes you want to wear?" I said, "These are good." And it started a whole revolution. Free pair of shoes. Air Nikes are worth 500,000 each. It's a really cool ride, but he's been with me every step of the way, and he's just a genius, man. He's the best part of doing this movie was working with Chris, and he remains to this day the best part of talking about this movie with Chris.
Well, I recall that we're shooting in the what do you call it, the marketplace at night.
Yeah, the Twin Farmers Mall.
Yeah.
Twin Pines.
And
you guys don't worry about it than we do.
And an announcement was made when we were shooting all night for 2 or 3 nights. And an announcement came up to everybody before we broke for lunch, which was like 1 o'clock in the morning, that we were all together at some spot, that there were announcements to be made.
They're hiding in the trailer.
And Spielberg was there, Bob Zemeckis, all the suits and shirts and everything.
Andy Murphy.
Who?
Andy Murphy. Thanks.
No, I'm sorry. I'm remiss. I forget.
Yeah, no, I make it.
At 1 o'clock in the morning, after shooting for 6 weeks, was that the actor playing Marty would no longer be playing Marty, and that tomorrow we would start shooting with Michael. And I didn't know Michael, other than hearing about him, and 6 weeks of shooting, and they're going to change, and I felt that I barely made it through the 6 weeks work, and now I was going to have to do it again. I was like, how can I ever get that going again? You know what I mean? There was immediate chemistry, as they say.
Well, you were amazing. You did this, like I said, I was this whole drama thing on, and I didn't know anything about it. You'd gone to Gary Goldberg at Family Ties like 7 weeks ago. Asked if I could do the movie, and he didn't even tell me about it. I just couldn't do it. And Meredith got pregnant, and that solved a lot of things. And so I always had this time. So Gary Goldberg said, "You can do it, but you have to do Family Ties in the daytime and Back to the Future at night." So I said, "No problem." It's funny, now I'm gonna risk crying because I had to tell the story. But my mother passed away 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I thought I was gonna do it. But she said to me, and I called her, and I told her I was 23 years old. I called her up, and she's in Canada. I said, they brought me this new Steven Spielberg movie, but I have to do it at night and do Family Ties at daytime. She said, "I'm not doing it." I said, "What?" She said, "You too tired." I said, "No, my lips are just kind of tired. This is gonna be okay." But to this day, my mother thought, well, not to this day, for about 2 weeks ago, my My mother thought that it was a bad idea for me to do Back to the Future.
Oh, wow.
She loved the movie, but she was so worried that I'd get tired. I got tired. but did you see Back to the Future? So now, Gary told me about it. It's like the next week, 3 days later, I'm on a parking lot Pomona at 2 in the morning with this guy doing you got the time machine? The war. And there was 2 things. One thing was that it was a lot of fun to play this, and I could tell that they were starving for a goofball. They had a really brilliant method actor doing really good work, but they had an idiot, and they got me. I could tell it was flirting with my idiocy, my goofiness. And the other thing I noticed was Chris was a genius at I'm sorry, you get a word in.
They did not come here to see me.
But Chris was genius at we call it acting laying the pipe or doing the exposition. You see in every TV show you watch, they say, Burger had the weapon and he brought it to the thing, and he had the weapon. It's all exposition because it's boring to get out. You have to get the information to tell the story. No actor wants to do exposition because it's boring. But this guy is the king of exposition. God, Murdy, you're going to go. And the freaking thing is he retained it all. Because he's so good at it and he's so brilliantly entertaining. And I just went, wow, not only am I this is a cool thing that happened to me, but I gotta watch my ass because this guy will blow me off the screen. And he did, you know, in the beginning.
The chemistry was there from the first scene we had. It was alive. And it remained that way for 3 movies. And hasn't gone away, by the way. Amazing.
And Chris was funny, even when he was not doing anything. Like he was funny just watching that Crispin Glover and Bob Zemeckis didn't get along. On account of Chris being a little out there. Chris was the same thing. It's fun working with him because he's a genius. Amazing man. He just go off on tangents, you know. We had a broom and I said, waving with a broom, a sweep of indignation. Well, for me, I find it very entertaining. But Bob had a hard time because of these elaborate shows like pathways for Crispin to walk. And so I walk out one time on my trailer, and Crispin and Bob were arguing outside the trailers. And then Chris's trailer door opens. Chris, like, to see what the noise is. Nope. The door goes back in. He was a genius. Nope, not my thing. I just screaming at him.
All right, so every Johnson, when you saw the DeLorean for the first time.
That's a good question.
You got 4 minutes.
I don't know. I thought it looked right, you know. It looked like the kind of machine that did the things it did.
3 movies, man. From Back to the Future to Brokeback. And this thing came on. I could only hear it. I couldn't see it. And it would sound like this. Like Doc is very drunk. He wanders into the street, and Biff shoots him. And Marty, angry, what am I listening to? And I realized it was the enhanced for visually handicapped people or whatever. Like, but it was described in the movie. I thought it was going insane. And then I was making up to it, and Marty's still in that stupid pink suit. And it was true, but you were described very well. I'm a goofy night. I don't know about you. I'm just having so much fun being nice.
Was I right?
What about what?
I don't know.
Chemistry? Just keep the hand over there. We're doing fine.
You actually got your start here in New York on Broadway.
I started in an area kind of referred to as off. Broadway.
Sick clappers.
But, so, yes, but I understand what you're saying. It started here.
And speaking of Broadway, I understand that both of you have seen the musical that's
Yes.
currently playing in London. Did they do it right?
I don't see how they could have done it better.
It was great.
I mean, it's good.
I was supposed to go to England, and then the pandemic hit. And I couldn't go, so they sent me a tape of it, like I had like a big visual thing. Tape's the wrong word. Digital download. They sent me a thing, and it was fantastic. It was fantastic. I thought they didn't fall into the trap that they could have fallen into, which was imitating us. They made characters that were fully realized on their own, and I thought the play was really well written, the music was great, and I'm going to go when it comes to New York.
Well, I hear you might be able to do that next summer, so you'll
Yeah.
have to come back to New York.
And I think
That's
we
cool.
get free tickets. Free tickets. We make a goddamn cent on the residents, so.
I hear they haven't cast the Marty and Doc yet, so there are auditions probably coming up.
Well, Marty, Doc, Chris can still play it. I can only play Doc. But it's a great show, and it's Bob Gale who wrote with Back to the Future with Bob Zemeckis, put his whole heart and soul into it, and it's really great. I've only seen him, so I'm happy for him that this happened.
Wonderful optimist. How do you describe optimism?
Well, I have to point out in the last year I've broken my cheek, my eye socket, my hand,
holy
my
crap.
elbow, both humeruses, and my shoulder. So it's rough. Optimism rocket for me. They say I had a rough year getting beat up, but that was really cool because it made me realize that the thing I wrote in my book that I like to plug my book, but I know that's horrible because I like one of them fun. But I did this whole book about having all these tough things happen and how do I reconcile my optimism with that. And I realized that with gratitude, optimism is sustainable. If you can find something to be grateful for, in anything, if you can find something, you say, well, that's good.
100%.
There's a wall of shit coming down on me, but this is good. And if you can do that, then life is an optimistic situation. And you can it'll always get better. It's a wonderful thing about gratitude. When I first did the first Comic-Con I ever did, or fan show, and I had this great experience, and I came back, and I did another one here, and I said, that I realized I did it so that I could, so I did it for, like I was doing it for you guys. I was doing it like to thank you for me to be there for you.
Thank you!
What I knew was that it was you again that were giving to me, and you've given me my whole life. You guys have given me my whole life. When you come back to me in the photo line and shows you my face on your ass, tattoo. I go, how good does it get? What is not to be grateful for or optimistic? It's great. So yeah, I'm very optimistic. I think optimism is about thinking that things are more likely to get better than they get worse. And if you believe in that, and you be grateful for it, and if you're grateful for it, you'll sustain your living for the rest of your life.
Holy crap. Oh my god. This is a very fucking impact. Holy crap. He's a savage. Oh my god, he's a savage.
Join us.
So Chris,
Yeah.
how did you get started on Taxi? How did that happen?
Yeah, you show me pretty maybe.
Taxi.
Taxis.
Taxi. What was it?
It's my southern accent.
Yeah. How did I start on Taxi?
Yes. How did you become a main cast member on Taxi?
I don't know. Well, it was a little bit ironic because I had an attitude when I moved to LA that I wasn't going to do sitcoms. It was the usual thing to encounter that attitude here in the city because real actors really do stuff that's worth doing. They don't do tripe like sitcoms. So I got over it,
But thanks for the money.
Oh, I tell you, no, never mind. But so when I went out to LA, I even told my new agent in LA that I didn't want to do sitcoms. So months went by, and once in a while he'd set me up for one and say, you should just, just to meet the people. And then eventually I was set up to meet the people for Taxi. And I got all dressed up as
Jim?
as Jim.
You're looking at him like he was in Taxi.
That was Danny DeVito.
It's coming. It's there, it's still there. And so I got in my costume with a jacket with a peace emblem and all that 60s wardrobe stuff. And I went, and when I was finished, they said, bring that to rehearsal.
Wow.
Where we come in. So that's how that started.
Nice.
He was busting everybody else's balls. So I said to him one day, I said, no. He asked me if I'd be in the show, and I said, you don't want me on your show. He'll come on your show, and I'll win an Emmy, and the only Emmy that the show will win. The show was great, and we always said, she had a million Emmys, so the fact that I had an Emmy and he didn't have one was so stupid. But it didn't make it any easier for him when I got one. and he to this day, I walk in my office with
So you've both been on the sets of a couple movies.
yes.
Have you taken anything from the sets?
Please.
I don't do that.
I get your door, you know what's going on.
I have a shirt that I wore in Back to the Future 3. And it's got the little trains and it's and it resides pretty much unworn in my closet. My wife, Lisa, does not like to see it on me.
So what you're saying is everyone out there that has a certified shirt, that's not the shirt because it's in your closet.
No, it can't be. I have it.
At least it's so beautiful and so normal. And he's such a great person. I like my wife, I don't have the problem.
All right, so I'm going through all these questions everybody's sending me. It's amazing. People apparently want to ask you all questions. So
I don't know if I took anything you said.
I suddenly have all these new Instagram followers. So
Try taking that.
This is a good one. What is your favorite genre? Romantic comedy, Western?
I don't know. I really don't care. Whatever genre it's in, whether it's comedy, tragedy, tragic comedy, or whatever, if the role kind of turns me on, that's the reason to do it. You know?
Maybe you do transcend the genre though, because you play real human beings in whatever situation it is. Unless you're not playing a human being, because you can pretend to live, you kind of robots and cartoons and stuff. But you're always believable. You're always great. You're always like someone said today in the line, said Buckaroo Banzai. Coolest reference I heard all day was Buckaroo Banzai was amazing, and Roger Rabbit, all these great films.
Yep. Love Roger Rabbit.
If you could listen to one song for the rest of your life, what would that one song be? If you could listen to one song.
One song.
Only one song, what would that
Boy, we're getting personal. What would it be?
Johnny, you good?
I'm pretty sure you've walked down
I
a
have a feeling that's not it.
I don't know. There's a song, I don't remember who sings it, and I can't pick up the melody right here now. It's a beautiful song. And it's a song that Lisa and I have picked to be our song.
Aww.
And that's that story.
Probably shouldn't tell her you don't remember the name of the song.
She's used to that.
I love this great. What was the favorite scene together?
I mean, what was that?
My favorite thing about it.
I mean, a scene that I kind of remember that Back to the Future 3, when they discover that Doc is doing his stuff in this barn, right?
Yeah.
And he's invented this enormous machine that creates ice. And it's a scene that maybe opens on me doing something, and the ice machine is turned on, and steam comes out, and whistles blow, the whole thing. And then the train comes, right?
It's popcorn.
And I think you're looking out the window at the train. Anyway, we do a long take, and then finally, in the midst of all this stuff, to have a train passing by in camera frame and the ice machine, all that, takes a lot of coordination and timing. And at the end of that scene, a little piece of ice comes out in a cup. And I had
Bait to the future.
And I had a line.
You had a line?
I had a line somewhere, a short
I
line.
never remember.
But for some reason, on a take, I couldn't remember the line.
What was hard about that was that like, it was all.
Everything I described to you had to be done all over.
It made you
It was not a fun moment.
You're not kidding. The long scenes like trains would go by and horses would go by and people would like fall off and catch on fire and then hanging from things. And then like he and I would create a line and that's it. The whole thing again. $50,000. It was crazy. But at that point you couldn't fire us. few scenes. And everything from when I showed up at his doorstep in 1955 through to when we were in the room and he had to excuse the crudity of this design. And then, like this giant, like thing with the car goes through and hit the thing and blows up but yeah, this is when like I pulled the thing up my head. I came here in a time machine that you invented. And you know, like you did that whole riff about it. Who was the president? Who was vice president? Jerry Lewis? I was just sitting there going, I'm the president of genius. I'm the president of like a brilliant guy who's going to go wherever he's going to go. And all I had to do was to just react to it. Just take it in and let it wash over me. And I would be brilliant. Because that was the whole thing, was just to be with Chris, just let him be Chris, and enjoy it. And as an actor, there's no better gift than to work with somebody who is that good. I mean, like you did that now, I'm a 22-year-old guy, we're going to guy this freaking good. Like, really good. And it was thrilling. And then the rest of the movie was all the same. Anytime I had a chance to work with him, I knew that was going to be a good day. And I had to work with Crispin, it was going to be fun, a little bit weird. Any day I was with Lee, I fell in love with her again. She was great, I was such a screw up, so stupid. I should have bought the guitar. I tried to buy the horse. Didn't buy the horse. The horse was really cool because I was learning to ride. My wife was a great rider. We bought a farm in Vermont. We had like the places to Vermont. Wow, man, Vermont. So I really wanted this horse. It was whiskey, and the horse I rode in the movie. And this horse was like a Porsche. Do anything for you. And I said, I want this horse. And they said, you can't have a horse. I think it's entirely possible. I get the horse. And they said, and I knew something. They said, no, you can't get the horse. And I said, why? I said, we can shoot a cannon off this horse's head and he won't move. He won't. And I thought, that's true. They put too much time and effort into these movie horses. They exist to make movies. And they can do all these things that you wouldn't need them to do if you were just going for a ride. And they can get on and off cars, they can jump over trains, they can do all this stuff because they're fearless. I didn't get the horse, I didn't get the guitar. I got an old pair of Nike Cortezes, were there?
Bruins!
Bruins, that's right. Bruins. The story behind that was I was wearing those shoes on when I had just been hired, I was going in for costume. All this stuff really happened. They pulled out some clothes we were wearing. I said, that goofy vest thing looks cool. Wow. And they said, yeah, let's try it on. Put on. I said, it's so stupid, it looks like a life jacket. And Bob said, yeah, let's try it on. And looking at stuff like that in the movie, and they let me do it, like we were doing the scene with Leah when she wakes up, and we did the scene a couple times, and I walked up to Bob and I said, I don't want to step on any toes, but you should have her when I say, where are my pants? You gotta say, they're on my hope chest. And he said, yeah, it's big, we do that. So that's my big point of pride, that I wrote that line.
When I was 12 years old, my mother was going to go see Hamlet, Laurence Olivier's Hamlet. And a movie, of course, and here to see. And she didn't know whether to take me because she wasn't sure I was mature enough, old enough to understand what was happening. That's Shakespeare. And it was kind of deep, you know. But she took me, and I was blown away. I went out, I got the record, the 78, what is it, 78 records at the time, and I kind of memorized speeches and just got into it. So that was kind of...
Wow. Good one from Shakespeare, isn't it?
Don't do the Scottish play. Don't do the Scottish play.
Okay.
Secret shot.
Now is a good term, our discontent made glorious summer by this son of yours.
One final thing that I want to talk about. I myself have donated many hours to the Fox Foundation.
Thank you.
How can you get it again? It's on the floor now, you're not getting it back. Don't do it.
Oh no! Don't do it!
I keep thinking you're losing your teeth.
Fine.
So how does that come to be? How does that get started? Fox Foundation.
Oh, yeah, there's a story. If I can find this, I'll tell you the story. I was doing Family Ties, and I do Spin City several years later. I talked to Barbara Walters and People Magazine about the fact that I had Parkinson's, and like in the old days before the internet, that's how you get stuff out. You tweet, you told Barbara Walters, and so and then it became this huge thing, and everybody knew about it, and which was my design, but I didn't know that they would act the way they did, would react the way they did, which was just total empathy, total curiosity, and then the zeal to help and help people with Parkinson's. And I found that there was a whole community of people, like young people at my age, 30, 35, 40. I was kind of this old person's disease that was sitting on that chair or trying to get in the elevator before you really slowing you down and pissing you off. Those people had Parkinson's, and it was their life, and it was now my life. I wanted to understand it more, and I wanted to help. So I got involved with a few political organizations, found out how much money was available, and I realized that the science was ahead of the money, that if we could pay for it, we'd get research done that would help us. So I thought, why I had to do something. I'm doing this TV show. I had a great career in television, a great career in film. I was doing okay, and my family was not going to starve, so I could dedicate my money and my efforts to find a cure. So it was New Year's Eve going into 2000. I was in the Caribbean, and I was swimming with Tracy. At the end of the day, the kids were getting ready for New Year's Eve, and we were taking one last swim of the year. And I went in the water, and I was swimming, and I saw this sea turtle. And the sea turtle, like, it had a chunk taken out of its beak, and had a big thing that's flipping, but it was cool. It was chilly, it was just swimming in the water. And I started following it around, and thinking, this is really, what am I learning from this? I'm learning something. And when you get your ass kicked, you keep going. And he was he impressed me. So I got in the water, and I walked up to Tracy, and she handed me a towel. He said, what? I said, look at your face. I said, I'm leaving the show. I'm going to start the foundation. And that was this turtle. And I can't get it off. And I have this turtle in here somewhere. And my one tattoo is a tattoo of a turtle. Somebody wasted on my face. But I said, I'm not going to turtle. And my wife was not too pleased. And she said, you get a sleeve. I know it. I said, it's one turtle. It's big. I want to get my dog. I want to get all kinds of stuff. But anyway, that's how the foundation started. So then I went to some people that I knew, and said, I want to start this foundation. I don't know how to do it. And they said, well, think approach it like a business. So I approached it like a business and said, like, I don't want to have a big endowment. I don't want to pile up money and ditch it out. I want to put money straight into research. And now, 20 years later, we are the biggest product of the foundation in the world. We raised over $1 billion.
That's awesome.
No pressure. Gotta use the microphone.
I have to quote was said once in a movie, the future is what you make it.
Yes.
Make it a good one.
You gotta set that bar kind of high for you.
My favorite line in any movie, and there's nothing deep or valuable in it, it's just funny. And my favorite movie is Dr. Strangelove. And my favorite line of that is, you can't fight it here, this is a war room. That's why you can't fight in here, it's a war room. It's all nuts, so just suck in your breath and go ahead. Carry on.
Well, gentlemen, thank you very much.